6775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Mary Walters is in the house. Welcome.
Good morning.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I guess it is a Monday. How do you, does everybody celebrate on Monday, or do you just try and recover on Monday? Though, you know something? I'm looking at this one. Native American Day. Okay, Columbus Day. We know that one. Online Bank Day. Is there any other way? Sausage Pizza Day. That's a good one. I can go for sausage. Of course, I can go for pizza anytime. International Day of the Girl Child. Okay. I guess you got to celebrate something. So I don't know. Well, National Coming Out Day. There are celebrations for everything, I guess, is the bottom line here. What are the markets doing today? Not a darn thing, right? A lot of the markets are closed. Now, the Dow is up, right? The Dow's up 105 points. The S&P 500 is up 973. The NASDAQ is up 43, but the bond market totally closed today because it is Columbus Day. Oil's up $1.83 a barrel today. We're up at $81.20 a barrel. I guess that's not going to be pretty for gas prices, but we'll check them anyway and see what's going on in the gas market. How about $2.90.8 a gallon? $2.90.8. Not in California. $2.90.9 is Mississippi. $2.90.8 is Texas. And Lori, you're lucky. $2.99. So Lori is our tremendous underwriter. Lives in Louisiana. She's paying $2.99 a gallon. Let's take a look. Okay, Josh, you're going down again, Josh. 387 is Nevada. I have to go check this one out because I'm not sure it's correct. It's $4.12 a gallon in Hawaii. So I'll have to go check that one out firsthand just to make sure it's accurate. And right here in California, are you ready for this one? $4.44 a gallon.
Ow!
$4.44 a gallon. Now, why are we so much higher than all of the other states? And yes, we do lead the other states by a lot. I think that Hawaii is second, and what's that? About 8% cheaper than we are in California. So why is it that everyone else is so much cheaper than we are? Well, it's pretty simple, and I'll give you some numbers if I can find them here quickly. But it's about 25% of that gas price goes to taxes. 25%. 18 cents goes to the federal government. 51 cents goes to California gas tax. 16 cents goes to the California sales tax, so the gas tax and sales tax. Low carbon fuel standard, 23 cents. Cap and trade, 14 cents. Underground storage tank fee, 2 cents. Are we storing gas underground anymore? I mean, I don't get it, but so figure $4.40, 25% of that's about what, $1.10 a gallon, just going to taxes. And all that so we can have the greatest roads in the country. Well, no, I guess it's probably not the greatest roads in the country. Have you driven over some of them? I saw a great picture the other day, and it showed the road ingenuity from about 100 years ago. And they were cobblestone roads with no potholes. Well, now we get asphalt roads with potholes. Is that the idea of getting better? I just throw that out there. Moving right along. Let's see what else is going on. Sports in the world. We had a big sports weekend here. Not if you're a USC fan, because that was pretty pathetic. Rams won. Chargers won. So that's good. Dodgers, 1 out of 2. Can kid the Giants fans, right? Took them 6 months to get home field advantage and 1 day to lose it. So that best out of 5 series now is best out of 3. It was best out of 5 home field for the Giants. Now it's best out of 3 home field going to the Dodgers. So that's a pretty interesting one. The Dodger, if you're a Dodger fan, I'm not a Dodger fan, so it's kind of irrelevant to me. Let's move right along. See what else is going on in the marketplace. We're going to talk a lot about the last month of the market, but here's a thought. I just saw this from one of the big economists, and we're going to chat about this one a little bit. This is going to be a lot of our conversation. One of the big forecasters, economic forecasters, and he's won a lot of awards, came out this last week and said real estate appreciation has hit an apex. Interesting thought. What do you think about that? Do you understand it? I didn't quite know what he was talking about at the very beginning of the conversation, but it made a lot of sense to me, and I hope he's right that real estate appreciation has hit the apex. So what he was really talking about was that over the last year, according to several of the sources, be Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, National Association of Realtors, all these other people that are supposed to be really smart, some of them are, they basically said that, I don't know that real estate is going up at 18% a year. May start going up only at 5, 6, 7, 8% a year. Now, a lot of people, the media pick up on these things. Then they come up with this thing, well, Barry said that real estate prices are going to decline. No, he didn't say that at all. Basically, what he said is if you're going down the freeway at 100 miles an hour, and you should not be doing that, but if you are going down the freeway at 100 miles an hour and you slow down to 65 miles an hour, you're still going forward. You're still appreciating. You're just not going as fast. Now, I'm a big believer that I don't like the idea of going up at 18%. In Arizona, Phoenix, that market's going up at about 30%. Not a good idea. Right? I know if you're trying to sell something, it's probably a good idea. If you're trying to buy something, probably not a good idea. But just think about that. When the market goes up that much, that quick, don't you think it could go down that quickly too? I don't believe it's going to go down. We're going to talk about that today, but the concept is the same. The markets are moving very, very quick, and there's people that are having trouble getting into the market. I had a conversation over the weekend with somebody, and this to me was something that I'm a big believer in. So here's the question that came up. Here's what I will pose to you. So he said that he's got a very, very successful business, doing very, very well, been doing very well for several years. I know him personally. Should my kids buy a house or should they wait? And I said pretty simple to him, why would they want to wait? Do they want to wait for prices to go down? I don't think that's going to happen. They want to wait for interest rates to go down? I don't think that's going to happen. What are they waiting for? Right? Get in the market. Well, they can't afford to buy a house. Okay, well, where are they going to live? Well, they're going to live in an apartment. So why are they worrying about buying a house? Why don't they just buy an apartment? I'm sorry, a condo, right? Condos are very similar to the apartments. Why don't they buy a townhouse? Why do they have to start out? So I said to him very simply, because he's about a little bit older than me. Not too many people are. But I said, hey, when you bought your first house, was it your dream home? Did you buy the house that you're in today as your first home? And he said, heck no, I couldn't afford that. And I said, well, what makes you think your kids could? Because he had just finished telling me that his house was about $2 million. And I think he's probably right. It's probably a little more than $2 million. So I said, well, here's a thought for you. When you die, who's going to get your estate? Well, my kids are going to get my estate. I said, okay, could you afford a larger mortgage than you have now? And he says, absolutely. I said, why don't you take money out of your house and give it to your kids today? Let them buy a nicer house and not going to bother you at all, but you get to see them enjoy the money that you're going to give them when you're dead. Now, when you're dead, are you going to get to see them enjoy the money? Do any of us really know? Probably not. Probably not that we don't know. It's that we don't. I don't know that we're going to see it or not. I don't know. Do you know what's the future holds? Do you know about the life after? I don't know. Right? But the bottom line is if you've done well and you've got a house that's appreciated and you're planning on giving that to your kids anyway, why not give a piece of it to them sooner than when you die? Just throw that out there for you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to chat. We got a lot to chat about today because we do this every month. We talk about the monthly market report, all the top headlines that came out over the last 30 days. We get the old man's impression and the millennial impression of what's going on. Experts agree homeownership provides a path to long-term wealth. And I don't know because I didn't look. Do we have a featured home today? Talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Amazing how it works better when you turn the mics back on. Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I didn't even have to get Josh to sit there waving at me and yelling at me to turn the mics back on this time. Pretty good. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial when you're ready for that next home loan. Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990. Hey, following up a little bit on the commentary that I had in the opening block today about giving some money or advancing money to your kids. Think about this one. What about the reverse mortgage? If you've got a lot of equity in your property, you can give some money or advance money to your kids or your beneficiaries without ever having to make a mortgage payment of your own. Think about that concept. They're going to get it anyway. How about doing that a little sooner than later? And yes, Geneva does do reverse mortgages. Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So let's get into it. Mary Walters is in the house chatting with us about what's been going on for the last month in the real estate world. Good morning.
Good morning.
So has real estate world settled down a lot? It's real nice and calm and peaceful?
I wish.
Okay, so it's keeping you busy still.
It is.
Finding a lot of houses to sell?
No.
No. That's the challenge.
It always is.
Been for a while, right? Finding people that are willing to move. I'm going to throw this at you and see. It's not even on our list here. But I was at a forecast last Tuesday. And one of the people at the forecast, a local realtor, made a comment that he believes that the reverse mortgage might be partially the cause of the shortage of inventory. Mm-hmm. And that, seniors are able to just stay in that house if they might have been downsizing or right sizing. So it kind of pushes everything back down where there's the availability shortages.
I can see that, where those people aren't cycling over what they normally would have, because why put the stress on them moving when they don't have to, because there's another option now.
Yeah, I found that to be a fascinating thought, because it was one that I hadn't thought of, mm-hmm. Which is good when people come up to you and chat with you and give you these thoughts. I can throw it out there and make my ring. GiveMeAring.com, I think, is the name of his website. But let's get to looking at what we've got in our notes. My sense is the Case-Shiller National Annual Growth Rate of 19.7 is probably close to a peak, and that year-over-year prices increases will slow later this year. Bill McBride, Calculated Risk Blog. What do you think?
Yeah, that's sort of what we've all been talking about, that it's going to slow down. It's not going to decrease, but the rapid appreciation is going to slow down a little bit.
Healthy or not?
For it to keep going like that rapidly, it's not healthy.
So here's the issue: is that 19.7,
and that's a national number.
Right. All the things that come out of these surveys that we have here are national, but 19.7 is about doubling every 4 years. Mm-hmm. Is your income doubling every 4 years? Nope. Now, you don't need it to double every 4 years, because you're only doing a portion of your income goes to the loan, because the loan's not on the full amount, right? So if you've got a loan that's, say, a 25% loan to value, or 75% loan to value, 25% loan, we're not looking at income going up about 6%. So it's not hurting right there, but we're going to continue moving on. July year-over-year house appreciation, year-over-year, 19.2 from the Federal Housing Finance Agency. I like that one the best. Core Logic is 18%. They do a great job looking backwards. They've been about as bad as you can possibly get looking forward.
I think it's easy to look backwards and just look at the numbers.
Right, exactly. Right. So, but when you forecast March of 2020, when Core Logic came out and said a negative 6.6% growth, so depreciating, And now they say 18% was the real number. So if my math is right, that's about a 25% miss. Not real good, right? S&P Case-Shiller, 19.7% year over year appreciation. So why is it that I like the FHFA best of all of them? That deals with conforming home limits. So it takes out the real luxury properties. Yes, you can have a luxury property with a conforming loan, especially when you look at what 2022 is about to bring us, right? So it's not part of this, but 2022, probably going to be about 625 is going to be the conforming home limit. Are you ready for this, Orange County? Probably, if they follow through with what they've done in the past, you're looking at a $937,000 conforming high balance loan. $937,000. So you can basically buy almost $1 million house and get a conforming loan with a minimal down payment. Think about that one. But 19.2 is their number here. So what is California's year over year appreciation? Not bad.
20.2.
Right? 20.2.
Ooh, look at Idaho.
Idaho, 37.1. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Yeah, that would be, if you're already owning there, that's great.
I think they're the highest.
They are the highest. Now I'm going to help create more havoc in the California real estate market. Right, so here's the issue, and I had another one of these conversations that we talked about frequently. What if you're thinking about getting out of California and going to a more tax-advantaged location? So here's the thought. Let's get your opinion on this one, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your California property, refinance and take out your equity, and then go buy it in whatever state you want to be in and rent out California.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, or if you're not comfortable leaving your rental, just sell it all together and go buy a couple more somewhere else.
That works, but here's the concern that I share. You know, there's a lot of problems in California, but there's a lot of great reasons to be in California, right? Nowhere else in the country has the weather we have. Nowhere else in the country has, think about this one. We're sitting in Orange County, California. It takes half hour to get to the beach,
mm-hmm.
an hour to get to the desert,
mm-hmm.
an hour to get to the snow.
Yep.
Where else in the country can you do that? Right? I mean, well, I know in Boston you can get an hour, you can be in another state, but other than that, I mean, we've got it made here. If you sell California and go buy somewhere else, it becomes more of a challenge to get back into the California real estate market. So take your equity, my opinion,
mm-hmm.
take your equity, buy where you want to go to, see if you like it there for a few years, rent out. Do you do any property management?
Personally, no, I do not, but we have someone in our office that does.
Okay, so that way you don't have to worry about coming back to California,
mm-hmm.
right? So you got a solution there, right? Just a thought for you. Think about that, because 20.2 is good in California, great in California, right? But what I don't even know what the worst one is on here. I don't know that there's any that have a negative.
No, there's not even anyone who has less than 5%.
Oh yeah, 5% is the lowest, and
but that's not even the lowest though. That's like the lowest bracket.
The lowest
lowest
bracket
looks like Alaska, 8.2.
Yeah, 8.2 in Alaska. Okay, so and you had 8.2. That's still right. Think about that. If you're if you're doing 10% down, and 8.2 is that? Am I right that that's about 82% return on your money, on your cash?
Sure.
Right.
Too early for math.
Right. Think about some of these numbers. I mean, if you have a $100,000 house and you put 10, well, maybe it's not, but if you have $100,000 house, which you can't find in California, and you put 10% down, $10,000,
mm-hmm.
and the house grows at 20.2%, you're going to get $22,000 is your annual return, or $20,200.
Okay.
Is your return on that California real estate for your $10,000 investment. I mean, how do you go wrong with that? I mean, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. Just a thought there. Closings are set to decline roughly 10% year over year in the second half of 2021, and home price appreciation is on the cusp of flipping to a decelerating trend, according to Ivy Zelman. Again, not going backwards, just going a little bit slower than it was. And Ivy does a great, great job of forecasting. Let's look at this numbers, though. Estimated home price performance. Now, this is coming from the Home Price Expectation Survey, Pulseonomics. If you want to get a great read on what the economists of the world or the forecasters think, because the Home Price Expectation Survey is at least 100 economists. They're economists, real estate professionals, bankers, and market analysts. Now, you put 100 of them in a room, and you're going to probably get 110 opinions. But you average them out, and this is what you're coming up with. 11.74 for 2021. Okay. What is 2022 bringing us or forecasting?
5.82.
Not bad, right? I mean, and that's a national number. California's 61-year average is 5.36. You have to think that we're probably going to be a little higher than the 5.82 in California. Right? So we're still looking at some great numbers in all of these areas. So over the next 5 years, that's another good number.
Yeah.
31.8 over 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, that should like get you off the fence right there. If like you're
right,
you know, if anything,
right.
If you bought now and then 5 years later you have 31.8%
appreciation of your property, not just that. So that, think about that again. Go back to that same number that we were talking about. If the property goes up 31%, that 100,000 is 131,000. You got $31,000 return on your $10,000 investment. It triples over 5 years. Where else are you going to do that? Right. It's still some pretty great numbers. So let's we're going to talk when we come back. What does the fourth quarter hold? What are the forecasts for the fourth quarter of 2021? We're going to chat with Mary about that one. We'll talk about experts. Homeownership provides a path to long-term wealth. So we're talking short-term. We're going to also talk long-term. And oh, yes, we do have a featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. All that and more. You can reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Experts agree homeownership provides a path to long-term wealth. A recent survey from LendingTree.com found there are multiple reasons why Americans should choose to purchase a home instead of renting. Some of the most popular non-financial reasons given include 1, the flexibility to make the space your own. 2, the pride homeownership offers. 3, the sense of stability. I know a lot of homeowners that are not stable people. I shouldn't say that. In the same survey, 41% of respondents say they'd rather own a home than rent because of the unique way homeownership builds wealth over time. And experts agree the home you own is an important tool for building your net worth. Here's what many of those experts have to say about building long-term financial stability through homeownership. According to the National Association of Realtors, NAR, homeowners who purchased a typical single-family existing home 30 years ago at the median sales price of $103,333 with a 10% down payment loan, and who sold the property at the median sales price of $357,700 in second quarter of 2021, accumulated housing wealth of $349,000. Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, points out that a home is truly one-of-a-kind asset. It's the only asset that's both an investment and a place for you to call your own. Quote, the major financial advantage of home ownership is the accumulation of equity in the form of house price appreciation. We don't always have 17% house price appreciation, but we have to take into account the fact that the shelter that you're owning is an equity-generating or wealth-generating asset, unquote. Homeowners can leverage the wealth they generate in several ways throughout their life. Tapping into accumulated equity has long been used to pay for the cost of an education, start a business, or to fund various other expenses. The Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard points out, quote, by paying down mortgage principal each month and participating in the long-term appreciation of home values, a family can build wealth that can be used for retirement or other needs, including helping the next generation, unquote. Bottom line, with home prices expected to continue to appreciate in coming years, home buyers have an opportunity to start the long-term wealth building process right now. If you have a question about this, give me a call, 800-306-1990. We'll put you on a path to home ownership. We'll also get you it's a gift, Ron Siegel Radio, and I love giving away all kinds of stuff. But you can go to myfavoritelender.net, and get what I believe is the best mortgage app or home app on the market. If you're thinking about buying or selling, the app that we have right there, myfavoritelender.net, put it on your phone, put it on your laptop, put it on your iPad, put it on your Surface Pro, Android, whatever you want to call it. But get that app. It's got the mortgage calculator right there, which I know is the number one search term in real estate. Right? So that's there. It's a real good one. You put in your numbers, play with it, come out and see if you can afford the property you're thinking about. You can get direct access to your favorite lender, favorite realtor. You have a search engine right on there for properties that's going to tell you exactly when new properties come on the market. And the best part, one of the best parts, no advertising. Your name's not going to go into, like they mentioned in here, LendingTree. It's not going to go into a big database and get sold. If you ever put your name into LendingTree, let me give you just a tip. Not they're bad company. They're good at what they do. Go to Google, get a new email address, get a Google Voice phone number, and put the Google Voice phone number and the Gmail address that you don't ever use in there, because you're going to get flooded with calls.
Or your ex's information.
There you go. Or your ex's information. That's the millennial way. There we go. That's awesome, Mary. I love that. But you know something? I'm going to have to remember.
I don't know.
I'm going to have to remember that one. That's a great one to do, right? Can you imagine doing that? Not that I like pulling pranks on people, but that's great. I love that. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Put your ex's information into Lending Tree. I got to love it. So here's a quote, and this is a fascinating quote, and I'm going to only share it for you for one reason, because I'm not sure, I haven't read the whole thing. But if it's a good quote, it will be the very first time that Diana Olick gets anything right. She's on CNBC. She's their real estate correspondent. For about the last 10 years, she's had a perfect record in real estate. Always wrong. Quote, fall's usually the start of the slower season for the housing market, but nothing is usual in today's pandemic-driven housing market. Potential home buyers are seeing a slight rise in inventory and consequently rushing back into the fray. Mortgage applications to purchase a home jumped 7% last week from the previous week. That is the highest level since April of this year. So she's not really giving us any opinion. She's just like Mary said earlier, right? If you're looking backwards, you can almost always be right. Mm-hmm. But Diana Olick usually isn't. So
you can still get it wrong, but
yeah, exactly.
It's hard to.
It's more of a challenge for her to get it wrong. So is there a rise in inventory?
Slightly.
Okay.
Slightly, but it's not like a huge jump like she's sort of saying.
Yeah, I know. We look at it and we don't see a lot of increase. Home sales very difficult to forecast. Now, one of the nice things that I'm seeing quite a few companies do right now, from the services that we get data from, is they're pretty much eliminating 2020. Right? They just don't even put it into the numbers. Now they're in there somewhat, but they kind of ignore those numbers. They look and compare things to what happened in 2019 and say that's a little bit more realistic.
You have to have a stable baseline to go off of. 2020,
not much stable in 2020,
yeah.
Right? So you have to have, that's a perfect example. You have to have a stable baseline to go off of. And if we look at the home sales, well, if you look at 2021, they really do mirror pretty much 2019. There's not a whole lot of difference when we look at the charts, right? 2021, it took a big dump in May last year. We all know that. It overcompensated through the rest of the year. So we're just going to kind of ignore that one and just look at what the numbers are. 2019, to 2021, and they're looking pretty stable. So let's take a look. In reality, we're beating 2019. That's a pretty good a good thought process right there. And 2019 was a pretty good year in real estate, right? So we can still like that one. Existing home sales. So just kind of looking at these numbers and coming up with December numbers for each year. So December, 5,530,000 for 2019 on the existing home sales. Where are we going to be this year? And you look at that chart and compare that again to 2019. They're all really, really moving pretty much parallel numbers. Active listing count. Again, we're looking comparing to 2019. They generally do drop in the fourth quarter. Why do they drop in the fourth quarter?
Well, like she said, like in fall, that's normally like the slowdown of everything. Like people are going back to school and everything, and they're settling in, and nobody's really moving around the holidays. Do homes sell still? Yes, but not as many.
So here's my thought. You tell me what you're thinking, Mary. So when you start getting to that fourth quarter, if you don't have your house in escrow the first week or two of October, you're probably going to be moving between Thanksgiving and Christmas. The only people that are doing that are people that really are highly motivated.
Yes.
Right? I mean, they've got a job transfer. They've got to be somewhere for the first of the year. Probably have something better to do than move.
Yeah.
At Thanksgiving. Actually, we hope you have something better to do. right? So that's kind of where the bottom line is of that one. So if you're thinking about selling, you probably don't have to have your house set up as a museum as much, right? In the fourth quarter, because you're not going to get a huge amount of looky-loos. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So we're going to get the serious people. And so what does that mean what does that mean for pricing? Right? There's not as much competition on the buy side. There's not as much. So that's the demand. So that's not going to be great for pricing. But then again, there's not as many people looking to sell. So that takes it. So it's going to move both numbers down. So it probably doesn't have any impact.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're both dropping kind of in a parallel.
Yeah. But if you're one of those people who over the summer just kept getting beat out, and you're still a serious buyer, now's probably a real good time.
What's that?
Well, like you said, there's not going to be as much demand going in right now because of the holidays.
So that makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, so yeah, if that frustration, I think a lot of people are frustrated over the summer.
Oh yeah.
Right, buyers are making multiple offers and throw up their hands, just give up. Right, I think I'm going to wait, or I'm not going to buy in this market, or I can't. I got to wait for interest rates to go up. Well, no, they don't say that part, but that is the reality. We're going to continue our conversation of what's going on in the real estate market right now. Maybe some reasons why listings may continue to increase throughout the fall and into the winter. I wonder if Mary just hit on a foreshadowing of what they're going to talk about here. And yes, we've got a featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. All that and more. Reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home today, brought to you by myfavouritelender.net, 17450 Olive Tree Circle, Yorba Linda. 5 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, brought to you by Keller Williams Michael LaValle. LaValle. I look at his name. I don't know why it's so challenging for me to remember how to pronounce it, but I think I pronounced it I put the emphasis on every syllable since we've been showing his properties here. 5-bedroom home, quiet neighborhood, 1/4-acre lot, RV access, pool, an elevated spa, formal living room, separate family room with cozy fireplace, double door entry, opens to rich wood flooring, beautiful upgraded kitchen and granite counters, separate laundry room. All bathrooms have been upgraded, including granite countertops. Upstairs, there's a loft, an extra master bedroom. So you need an extra master bedroom. That way, when my wife gets mad at me, I got someplace else to go. I guess that's what that's there for. Custom lighting in the bedrooms and bathrooms, entertainment backyard with custom rock pool and a slide. You don't see slides too much anymore. Enjoy city lights view at night, large covered patio with a barbecue. Pretty interesting looking at this property and that all that. And it's hard to say this, but only in Southern California. Looks very reasonably priced at $1,349,000. Can you imagine saying $1.3 million is a reasonably priced home?
Reasonable.
Unbelievable. Let's look at some financing. 10% down, $5,709 a month. 20% down, $5,075 a month. 25% down, strategic, $4,198 a month. Yes, those are principal and interest payments. You must add the taxes, the insurance. Looks like there's no HOA. If there's any mortgage insurance, you have to add all of that in for those of you keeping score. And I know the compliance people do. Those would be APRs of 4.098, 3.975, and 3.075. NMLS 217037. Again, 17450 Olive Tree Circle, Yorba Linda. Mike LaValle, Keller Williams is the listing agent on that. If you want more information, give me a call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Continuing our conversation, Mary Walters is with us, Realty Pro 100. We are chatting about this month's information on the monthly market update. We get a lot of slides every month. We share them to the real estate community. If you're a part of that real estate community, we can go to our private Facebook group for real estate professionals. 3 reasons listings may continue to increase throughout this fall and into the winter. Pent-up seller demand. New construction is starting to take off, and the end of forbearance will create new listings. Those are some interesting concepts. Just a little foreshadowing. Tomorrow, I'm going to chat a little bit about how long will your equity last if you're in forbearance. Think about that. Can you blow all of your equity in forbearance? Is that a possibility? So we're going to chat about that one tomorrow. But pent-up seller demand. Why do you think sellers would be the demand? Pent-up seller. I don't know why sellers. What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Homeowners will be more comfortable putting their homes on the market as more and more Americans are getting vaccinated.
I don't really see that one. I feel like they've held the power this entire time. If they wanted to sell, they could have sold. There were so many houses that were sold virtually.
Yeah, there you go. So that's an interesting concept. I didn't know that houses are sold virtually.
Well, I'm not saying so much anymore, but like in the beginning stage of like the pandemic, when we didn't know what we didn't know, and we weren't allowed to go out. Okay. We still had to sell houses, but people set it up that like a lot of it was done virtually. Like you did virtual tours, you did virtual open houses. Everything seemed virtual.
Yeah, I kind of question this one too, just because my thinking, and I know a lot of real estate agents, you know better than I do here, Mary. If you put a house on the market and you had showings on Saturday from 1 to 5 on a property that was, anywhere priced decently, what was going to happen from the 1 to 5 showings?
You're normally in escrow that next week.
So could I go out of the house and go to a local residence inn if I was really worried about the virus, and get 2 days over at a local residence inn, or go out to the desert or something like that?
I was gonna say, if you're worried about the virus, I don't think I'd stay at a hotel. Hotels are disgusting.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's a bad idea then. Go camping. I don't do that part.
There you go.
Let's look at interest rates. Biggest single risk to housing. Rising mortgage rates is a real possibility in the next year, and that could bring prices down. Further, other economic, financial, and confidence challenges could also result in a drop or flattening of home prices, even with solid buyers in place. But a drop or flattening in home prices is a far cry from the crash we saw during the Great Recession. Chief economist at Zonda.
I feel like he needs to be corrected. It's not that it's bringing prices down, it's bringing appreciation down.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. Prices aren't going down. Right. The number one reason that prices go up, and it doesn't matter whether it's lumber, automobiles, cell phones, houses, turkeys, right? I mean, we saw a few years ago, turkeys prices went up at the holidays, right? Because they said there was a shortage of them.
Yep.
Supply and demand, that's what brings prices down. If there's too much supply, I don't see too much supply coming anytime soon.
No.
Not a chance. Now, here's always a funny one, and we've got a chart for this. We'll share this on our social channels. Josh, we'll have to put this up later today. Freddie Mac 30-year fixed rates, right? 3.01% is what they came out with, I think, last week. 3.01. All the way up to 3.01. Now, that's kind of a surprising deal, right? I mean, going all the way up to 3.01, there's only a few people in the whole world that think that's going way up. Now, believe it or not, this slide was made probably right around the 1st of October. Yeah, rates went down 2 ticks from the end of September till the 7th of October. So they were at 2.99 as of October 7th, according to Freddie Mac. 2.99 on a 30-year fixed. Now, what if they go up 0.5%? Still going to put us at a great interest rate.
Yeah.
Right? We'll have to share this chart, Josh. Mortgage rates jump above 3%. Many factors led to this increase, including the Federal Reserve communicating that it will taper its support of capital markets. And I did hear, this is an interesting one. I was listening to a broadcast over the weekend, and they said that the Federal Reserve is going to increase prime rate. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the Federal Reserve never increases prime rate. They have nothing to do with prime rate. The Federal Reserve increases or adjusts the discount rate, which is not prime rate. The discount rate has been between 0 and 0.25 for a long time. Now, the 10-year Treasury is influenced by that. Prime rate is influenced by that. The Federal Reserve has no effect on the discount rate. So anybody that tells you that, ask them where they're getting their information, because it is not accurate. So the Federal Reserve did say that they are going to start tapering. What does tapering mean? And that'll probably, my guess, it's going to happen in December. But the market does throw taper tantrums. They don't like the idea that the Federal Reserve says they may not buy as many mortgage-backed securities or 10-year treasuries going forward. But I'm looking at the forecast. Mary, we've got that right here. Mortgage rate projections. Again, easy for me to say. But the average of all of these by the second quarter, so that's going to cover most of the summer of next year. Still pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? They're looking at 3.45.
Yep.
And every one of these companies has a vested interest. The forecasters that we use, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Mortgage Bankers Association, National Association of Realtors, they all have a vested interest in promoting real estate. Right? So 3.45 is what they're looking at the interest rate. So we're still looking at great rates. Those are not going to be changing. Will it have an effect on purchasing power? Yes. But still, fantastic numbers. Now, we only have about a minute left, so I'm gonna get off of this. If you want all this information, give me a call, 800-306-1990. We actually do show it during every broadcast. If you're on any of our social channels or video feeds, Josh has the full slide presentation going during the commercial break, so you can see that in the background. But you got a big event coming up this week.
We do.
Talk about that a little bit.
So we have our Rapid Equity Builder event coming up on Wednesday, which is the 13th. It's here in our office on Tustin Street in Orange. So we talk about exactly a little bit what you talked about before, taking that equity out of your home, pulling that cash out of your home and using it to buy investment property. Or like you were saying, using it to buy a property for your children.
Yeah.
But we focus on the investment side of it.
So here's an interesting concept. Especially as a father of 3 kids who are all semi-adults. Actually, they're all adults, right? But here's the issue. Be selfish. Think about this concept. Could you be selfish buying real estate? So if you have the equity, take the money out of your property to buy your kids a new home or a significant down payment on a new home. And if you're like me, I like having my kids around, right? So if I said that I'll put the down payment there for $100,000. And I believe you got to do it strategically. I would explain that in person, not on air. But do that strategically. But they have to be in the same county as you or within a certain amount of miles of you. That way you get to have your kids around you. Think about that concept, right? I mean, if your dad said to you or mom said to you that they're only going to give you $100,000 for a down payment, but you have to buy a house within 15 miles of them. Mm-hmm. Does that give you an incentive to do that?
100%.
Right? Think about that concept. So you can text RP100 to 79564. RP100. Josh, put that up on the screen for me if you would. Text RP100 79564. And you can actually get all the information about the Equity Builder program that Mary just spoke about. It's got all of their information right there. Again, text RP100 to 79564. I'm stalling so Josh can get that on there. Just a little bit of fun. There it is. Text RP100 to 79564. Find that dream home. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean, who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.